straight to the brim. Alright, yeah,
Welcome back to the YouTube channel, guys. It's Jay Ayyo. So today we're here to talk about Vybz Kartel. But before we do, for those of you who are new to the YouTube channel, welcome. What we're about here at this YouTube channel is that we turn viral topics into learning moments through adventures, jokes, and story time. So let's get into it. So like I said, we're here to talk about Vybz Kartel. Now, Vybz Kartel is from the island of Jamaica. Now, the island of Jamaica is known for reggae, sports, Usain Bolt, Bob Marley, tourism, and also music, as I did mention Bob Marley and reggae. Now, there's a genre of music in Jamaica that is celebrated quite famously. It's called Dancehall. Now, what is Dancehall? Dancehall is inner city music that Jamaicans play on their leisure time. You know, back in the day, that's what they would do, you know, to create a party, a vibe, build up the energy. That's what dancehall is. Now, dancehall in of itself is a multi-billion-dollar industry which has different artists like Vybz Kartel, Spice, Sean Kingston. Is it Sean Kingston? I don't know. Sean Kingston has done dancehall before, but a variety of different artists are in dancehall, like Valiant, you know, the whole 9 yards. How does this concern Adidja Palmer, known as Vybz Kartel? Now, Vybz Kartel is the king of dancehall. Now, how it concerns him is that back in 2011, there was a matter where he was accused of killing someone. Adidja Palmer, known as Vybz Kartel, was accused of killing someone. So they brought this matter to the court. The police came to lay the foundation, really. What all transpired is that an altercation happened at Vybz Kartel's house, where he gave a certain amount of guns to two individuals, and he said, hey, return these guns by, you know, a certain time. Now, those two individuals who Vybz Kartel gave those guns to, as it is alleged, they did not return the guns within the time frame. So they came to his house allegedly to respond to Vybz Kartel saying, you know, allegedly, I gave you some guns, why didn't you give it back? And so one person who Vybz Kartel gave the gun to allegedly ends up dead, motionless on the ground. The other person ran off and went to the police and, you know, tried to get help. That's what happened, allegedly. Now, where it all took place is that, you know, police goes to Vybz Kartel house, they didn't find a body, right? Now, it's taken to court because the police has taken this matter. They would have created a what you would say, a case, build up a case, right? To submit to the director of public prosecutions, who then takes the matter to court. When the matter is at court, because it's four people, including Vybz Kartel, who's taken to court. When they're at court, it's a 64-day trial. That is quite lengthy. So they're hearing a lot of information. The jurors are hearing a lot of information, and the DPP bringing that information, and the legal representatives for Vybz Kartel and the other three appellants in this case have to respond to that information. And so what ends up happening is that this case gets drawn out, it becomes long-winded. The trial judge says, you know what, you guys did it, we're gonna lock you up. They let one person off. When I mean off, they just said, okay, we're gonna remove you because we don't think you're that involved. So what the trial judge did was, they said, okay, you know what, y'all did this, you're gonna go to jail. So they get locked up. Vybz Kartel appeals it, right? So it goes to the court of appeal, or it goes to the higher court. and it ends up getting to the Court of Appeal. So when it gets to the Court of Appeal, they said that they could appeal to the Privy Council based on 3 conditions. 1, juror misconduct, holding the jury to deliberate for an unseeable amount of times, meaning like jurors don't deliberate for long periods of time. That may have stress on them. And admitting telecommunication data breach of Interception Act and Charter, right? So this matter is then, allowed to appeal. It goes to the Court of the Privy Council of the United Kingdom, right? Now this is the final stage that one gets to when wanting to appeal a case, right? So it gets in front of the 5 or 6 learned justices of the Supreme Court. They go through it, they look at it, they'd be presented information by Adidja Palmer's legal team and the other 3 appellants in this case. Now what ends up happening, in me reading the 19th page of the Supreme Court's deliberation, it was said, 1, the trial judge should not have admitted information that caused data breach, meaning they ascertained information in contravention of an individual's rights. Now you can't do that, that's illegal. 2, they allowed a juror who was bribing other jurors to say, let them go. It was stated that the juror that was trying to bribe the other jurors was not aligned with the appellants in the case. So the appellants, Vybz Kartel, didn't know that person. The other matter was, forcing the juror to deliberate on a matter for like an unnecessary amount of time. Like usually you would let them come back the next day, but the judge did not allow that. So based on those 3 reasons, that's why Vybz Kartel's matter is being squashed, meaning it's overturned. He has no conviction. They also said it needs to go back to the Court of Appeal in Jamaica to retry. The matter is, when you've tried someone already, you can't use the same information. So the DPP is either going to have to try to find new information to retry Vybz Kartel, or they kind of do a long wait game. But he's supposed to, because the Supreme Court of the United Kingdom has said, he is convicted. I mean, his conviction has been overturned rather. So in this case now, what happens? What happens is that Vybz Kartel's lawyer will apply for bail. Now the bail will either stipulate conditions that the court may want to stipulate on Vybz Kartel, or it may have some certain amount of money on the bail and the reasons, and they'll decide whether to let him go. But legally, he has no record, he has no conviction against him, and so for all intended purposes, Vybz Kartel is a free man. The king of dancehall is a free man. Now, where this gets tricky is that you have a director of public prosecutions named, I believe her name's Paula Llewellyn. She's been a DPP for over like 10 years, 14 years. She's been there since 2008. She's the first woman to hold the position. And there's a matter concerning her where she basically, when other like her junior people wanted to like gain more experience, she didn't want them to gain much experience. She was just like, she didn't want to move from her position. Put it that way, ladies and gentlemen. She didn't want to move from the position. And there have been numerous statements made by former people who used to work in the DPP that she really is someone that once you work with, not the best person, put it that way, allegedly. So what I would be very intrigued, because she reached her 65-year age mark and they extended her, so her losing this case with Vybz Kartel looks bad on her. if I was the Prime Minister of Jamaica, I wouldn't call any election because everybody's seeing this. So Jamaica is set to go to election sometime between this year and next year. Now, it's up to the Prime Minister to decide when election happens. The reason why I said the Prime Minister, if I was the Prime Minister, I wouldn't call an election is because, one, the DPP who represents the government, they erred. They lost. It looked for the DPP is a lose for the government. It makes the government look like they're incompetent. They don't know what they're doing. Mind you, this case would have started before his administration. But regardless, it's who's in now and how it looks. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, if the Prime Minister is there, he'd probably be calling for the DPP's resignation. But if he calls for the resignation of the DPP, it looks as if, you know, he's admitting something went wrong or guilt or things just didn't work out. So at the end of the day, Vybz Kartel is free, ladies and gentlemen. Justice is served fresh on a hot plate when it runs its course. So he's a free guy. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you on the next video.
The fall from them straight to the grave. Alright, yeah.